This is activity number 1 for lesson A-18. For this activity, you will need the assembled Raspberry Pi setup with the circuit from the last lesson activities attached. You'll also need 2 push-button switches, 3 long male-to-male jumper wires, 2 1,000 ohm resistors, and 2 10,000 ohm resistors. The activities for this final lesson for Level A are designed to combine many of the skills you've acquired over the last 17 lessons to build a Python program and a circuit to allow you and a friend to play a 2-player game testing your reaction time. So first in this activity, you will modify the 4 LED circuit from the last lesson to add 2 switches so it can be used in a 2-player game. Before we get started, here's the schematic for this project. Now to build this project, first you'll need to power down your Raspberry Pi so you can modify the circuit you built in the last lesson. Next, connect a jumper wire from C9 to P29 to carry 3.3 volts from the Raspberry Pi over to the P2 bus. Now the positive rail P2 has 3.3 volts available. You need to make that available to the switches using some 1,000 ohm resistors. Add 2 1,000 ohm resistors in these locations. Place R1 between P247 and I47. Place R2 between P259 and I59. The switches will need a path to ground using the 10,000 ohm resistors. Add 2 10,000 ohm resistors between these points. Place R3 between N249 and J49. Place R4 between N261 and J61. Now it's time to insert the switches. Only 2 of the 4 pins on each switch will be used. Connect 2 pins on each switch across these locations. For switch 1, G47 and G49. For switch 2, G59 and G61. Each switch must be wired to an input. Connect switch 1 to GPIO 20 by adding a jumper wire between H19 and I49. Connect switch 2 to GPIO 21 by adding a jumper wire between I20 and H61. Go ahead and double check all connections and then power up the Raspberry Pi. Your circuit is now complete. In the next activity, you will write a program that will use the new switches. Go ahead and move on to the next activity.